I'm Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com podcast, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out other geeky podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 559 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. My name is Chris. Welcome to the show. We are recording this live on Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. And fear not, my friends, I am not alone. I am joined with the usual band of misfits. We'll start first, Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
From the darkness, we all rise. It sounded deep.
Yeah, that's deep. I hope that Mr. Anthony Bachman has something just as deep.
It was not the final chapter. He lives. He lives.
He lives, evidently.
Mm-hmm. I thought Willie was talking about El Campeon.
Who?
El Campeon. Rise for El Campeon, the world heavyweight champion.
I have forethought.
No, isn't that what's in Damian Priest's song?
Oh, I
Rise.
don't know. It might be.
Yeah, Rise, because he's not, because he wasn't Mr. Money in the Bank, he was Senor Money in the Bank. And now he's not the champion, he's El Champion. Or El Campeon.
That's true. There's so much content out there, I can't watch it all, so I don't know. I don't know.
Just a foreshadowing of what I've been into was
There's some wrestling you don't know.
I've made it pretty clear that I don't watch it.
You don't know.
I don't watch a ton of WWE. I've said that before.
And there is a ton out there. I started another watch through of Lucha Underground. At some point, I will finish watching that whole damn thing.
Lucha Underground is fun.
It's awesome. There's nothing like seeing like wrestling done as if it was like done on telenovela as a soap opera. Like I love all the behind the scenes stuff that they did, like it was shooting like a drama series on the CW. It's so cool.
They did what, 3 or 4 seasons of Lucha Underground?
Oh, I think there's like 5.
Huh.
Yeah, there's my Amazon because I bought it all, but I haven't completed. I haven't finished watching it all.
There's a lot of names that are on that show now that you're like, they look familiar, and it's because they use different names in Lucha Underground, basically, and now they're in places like Impact, AEW, WWE. I mean,
Tommy Morrison's been Tommy everything, just depending on where he goes.
No, that's John Morrison.
Or John Morrison.
He's Johnny
Mundo
TV currently.
Yeah, he was Johnny Mundo. But yeah, like the one that got me, which I didn't realize is because I've seen episodes that have kill shot in it. I did not know that was Swerve Strickland wearing a mask.
Yep.
But then like you see him do like the jump kick to the back of the head. It's like, oh yeah, that's Swerve. That's totally Swerve. No one else does that kick. Or yeah, definitely nobody does it the way he does it. Because he looks smooth as hell when he does that kick.
Oh yeah, and then I think Thunder Rosa was Cobra Moon on Lucha Underground or something like that.
Sounds right. Yeah, there's a ton of people in that show.
Yeah, so if you like professional wrestling and want to see something different, it's older stuff, and I think they stream it on Plex's site for free. Well, ad supported. It might be Plex or it might be Tubi. I can't remember. But Lucha Underground is on some of the ad supported free channels out there too. If you don't want to buy seasons, because I don't think it's streaming on any channel without ads. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, because the El Rey network is not a thing anymore, right?
As far as I recall, it is not a thing anymore.
Yeah, so there's 4 seasons of Lucha Underground on Amazon, and season 1 has 39 episodes. So, I mean, it's a lot of content.
Yeah. They filmed a lot at a given time, was my recollection. I remember when it was live, reading some of the stuff in the dirt sheets about it. I was like, I should go check that out, but I didn't have the El Rey network on whatever cable service I had at the time, because I honestly don't remember whether that was when I still had cable or satellite or had cut the cord. Who knows anymore?
Yeah, when it was first coming out, I had cable somewhere that I was living. I remember watching like a bunch of the first season. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Because yeah, it was very different. It was a totally new setup, and it was kind of awesome. Which what the El Rey Network, which was doing, was trying to like just provide entertainment in a way that no one else had done before, and no one had done wrestling like that. Like they did it in a totally different way, which was really cool.
I enjoyed I enjoyed the first season of From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show.
Yeah, that was on El Rey also, wasn't it?
El Rey.
They had some interesting content from what I remember. It was, I don't want to say niche enough, but it wasn't big enough to catch on and didn't get picked up by enough cable providers for it to be profitable, was my recollection.
Well, that and as much work as Robert Rodriguez does, he didn't quite have enough content to have a whole network yet.
Evidently, it's no longer a television network. That closed in 2020, but they still have a website up, so maybe it streams. I don't know. I'm looking right now.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's on Roku. There's a channel for it, it would appear. Interesting. So I think it still exists as a streaming platform of some kind, maybe.
Nice. Yeah, and it's elraidnetwork.com is listed as one of the places you can stream Lucha Underground. So it shows up there, Amazon Prime and Apple TV.
Ooh, oh.
Narrated by Matt Stryker and Vampiro.
Is that vampire or vampire, like with a Y?
It was a vampire.
Yeah.
It's not the vampire.
Vampiro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know the fucking difference. I just know there is one.
It's fair.
Yeah, I, not a Y.
And the vampires there in Vampiro did not sparkle.
No, that senor did not sparkle at all.
No. I think he did color commentary for them, though. I can't remember who did the play-by-play.
That was Stryker.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, Matt Stryker, the guy that went from being like a school teacher or something to like learning everything in the world about every person who'd ever wrestled. Like he was the first Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Where like if you mentioned anything, Matt Stryker knew everything about the person, everywhere they had wrestled, and every move they'd ever used. Like it was insane that that guy knew off the top of his head.
And this has been your niche departure to talk about streaming channels that have been closed for 4+ years and the content that they provided.
The important things you come here
From Dusk Till Dawn. It's a good show and a great movie. But,
I wonder if it's streaming somewhere now.
Probably.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure Netflix probably bought the rights to it at some point in time. They've got everything.
Pretty much.
They have stuff that they lost years ago that is now showing up again that I had partially watched. It's like, here, you need to finish this. I'm like, Blue Mountain State's back? Wow.
Oh, yeah. I saw that pop up the other day. The one that's weird for us is that we canceled our Netflix for a while, and then we were sharing with a sister-in-law. And so, like, what was it? There was a show that popped up the other day. Oh, the Cobra Kai, after everyone was talking about season 6 is coming back, and like it had popped up on our Netflix, like you need to watch all the new episodes of season 5. I'm like, wait a second, we watched all this season. I went and looked at them, and none of them were marked as watched because during that year we were using somebody else's Netflix.
Yep.
So it's like, oh yeah, we're back to our old account, so we haven't watched any of those episodes on this account. It's like, all right,
time to replay it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the type of TV I'll watch over and over in the background. We're already paying for it. Watching episodes again doesn't cost anymore.
They already hear you. They know you're talking about them.
Well, that's true. So, yeah, we mentioned something earlier. Damn, if I didn't start getting ads for it on my Instagram, even though it was something that my wife wants to buy, not me. But if your phone's nearby, yeah, they're listening. Big Brother's always listening.
Yeah, but then you get wife pressure and ad pressure. You're more liable to break if you're getting double hit.
Yep.
It's the plan.
Yep. It's what they do.
Whose time's getting wasted listening to me? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
we
Someone who's they're probably making minimum wage at least, hopefully.
I wonder if they swap out, or is it like one person has one person and they swap, they have shifts with other people, but they always come back to the same person. I wonder how it works.
Evidently, SP is in the elliptical, and he'll stay on the elliptical until the outro credit. So this might be a challenge to see how long we want to make the show go.
So that's exactly where my brain went to. Is like, do we want to do the Kill SP episode? Do we want to keep him on the elliptical until he falls from dehydration?
You guys
says
love
we
a good
could kill
filibuster,
him.
don't you?
I mean,
So
I
it's a
feel
filibuster
challenged.
night.
Mm-hmm. It's filibuster night.
I like a nutbuster parfait better than a filibuster, but all right, we'll do what we do.
Oh, man, that'd be good too. I haven't had Dairy Queen in forever. Now I want
Yeah.
Dairy Queen.
I'm sad they closed like I think a Dairy Queen is like the closest ice cream place to us now because they closed our Baskin Robbins that was nearby.
Baskin Robbins always knows.
Yeah,
They knew
they
too
always
much
find out.
was the
They
problem.
always find out.
They knew too much. They had to go. So who
Apparently.
pissed off Baskin Robbins in your or who got pissed off by Baskin Robbins in your neighborhood?
Oh,
I
it
don't
was sad
know
that
the
they
last
shut 'em
time I went
down.
out for ice cream.
Oh, I like ice cream too much.
Body
Who
by ice
doesn't?
cream right here. I could go for some
It's all
cold
the
soup
milk.
Ooh.
and sugar.
SPS, what's the
Yeah.
best blizzard? I'm not sure if there is a best blizzard. I think it depends on the day.
The free one,
Yeah, the one I'm getting next. That's
The
the
one-
best blizzard.
the one that someone else paid for me.
There you go. That's a pretty good one.
But in all seriousness, it's Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
I do like the Reese's one. I like the Heath chocolate bar one. I'm a big fan of just the straight up just cookie dough. The like Death by chocolate fudge brownie one they did a little while ago was awesome because it was like chocolate ice cream, chocolate syrup, and it had chopped up brownies in it. That one was crazy good, but it was also like one of the richest. Like it was super sugary, super rich, but it was delicious.
Okay, we're going to do some hard-hitting internet sleuthing and journalism here because we're trying to keep SP on the treadmill as long as possible. We're going
Spider-Man's
to the Dairy Queen website, and we're going to thumbs up and thumbs down these blizzards, and we'll start with some limited edition ones. There's a brownie batter one right now.
Thumbs up.
I'd eat it. I'd eat it. Then we have a cotton candy blizzard.
I'd try it. Not my favorite flavor, but I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, sure. They're blizzards. They're all working. They're going to be
Yeah.
thumbs up to all of them. What are you
Yeah.
talking about here?
Frosted animal cookie? Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Well, actually, hold on a second. Let me give a thumbs down to that. Animal crackers. What are we doing?
No, not
here?
animal
What-
crackers,
who
animal
thought of that?
cookies. So
This
the
is
pink and white
frosted
ones.
cookies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thumbs down. Ugh.
No, pink and white frosted
blasphemy.
sugar cookie or the circus cookies? Hell yeah. Thumbs up. Those are awesome.
I'm
They're
good.
delicious.
Thumbs down.
Peanut butter cookie dough party blizzard.
As soon as you say the word cookie dough, it's a thumbs up.
Sure.
Cookie
Peach-
dough rocks.
Peach cobbler blizzard. I don't really want a peach cobbler
Why
blizzard, I'll
not?
be honest.
I love
Yeah.
peach cobbler, so I would try it. That one may be
Oh,
a
I get
weird
yelled out for
texture.
animal cookies, but okay.
And maybe a weird texture, but I mean, I would try it. I love peach cobbler.
Then
Have you
there's
not had Ben and Jerry's Willie Nelson's peach cobbler?
I haven't.
No, I won't
That's
eat anything with your name
that's
on
your
it.
misfortune. It's not my name,
Really? Because when I look at it, it says Willie Nelson on it, and I can't eat that.
not my face.
Look, we might have bit off more than we could chew here. I'm just going to power through.
you might.
Real quick, there's the ultimate cookie blizzard, which
Thumbs
is a
up.
limited
Yay.
edition. Thumbs up. Chocolate chip cookie dough. Thumbs
Oh,
up.
Thumbs up.
Jesus. Yeah.
Turtle pecan.
Turtle pecan
Thumbs up.
Bluster, that's one of my favorites. I've had like 20 of those in my life.
Choco
Sure.
brownie extreme blizzard.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? There's still more. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I looked at all the. They're all thumbs up. They're all thumbs up. There's not
Oreo
a bad
cookie,
blizzard.
Reese's peanut butter cup,
Except for
Butterfinger,
animal
M&M, Heath. Yeah, these are all thumbs ups. And I don't want to do the royal ones. I don't like this royal thing. It scares me because I'm afraid I'd like
What
it too much.
is that?
For those that aren't familiar with what the royal ones are, it's when they fill a blizzard with something. So like you have a blizzard and then in the middle of it, for this
Oh.
one, you have fluffernutter, or in this one, you have cherry for a cherry cheesecake one.
Ooh, okay. I would try both of those. Hell yeah.
So I think we just proved for the most part that any blizzards are favorite.
We are
Yeah.
in an obesity epidemic.
Yeah, bring it on.
I
Bring it on.
wonder why.
Yeah, I didn't look to see how many calories were in each one of those blizzards. That's
Oh.
probably something we don't want to know.
Nobody wants to know that
So-
information. There are no calories on the internet. Calories on vacation.
So SP's asked, what is his favorite Dairy Queen Blizzard? Now, this is a tough one because he just showed going through that menu. There's a lot.
I don't know. Is there some type of rocket candy? I didn't see a rocket sickle blizzard or something.
It's
I'm
gotta
gonna
be just
go-
a classic Oreo.
I'm going to go Heath Bar.
I bet he's a
Would you
Butterfinger. He's a
eat it?
Butterfingerman.
We'll see if SP lets us know in the chat what his favorite one is.
Because two of those ones are the ones that stick to your teeth really bad.
Up. Who had Oreo?
Oh,
Yeah,
Willie
that's
called.
of course. It's everyone's favorite. It's Oreos, cookies and
No,
cream. There
no,
is no other option.
Peanut butter cup's better.
You're obviously wrong because right there's the evidence. Right there.
Yes, because one
Willie's
person agreeing
right.
with you disproves everything I
That's
just
2
said.
against 1 and 1. So the
I don't
ayes
like
have
your
it.
logic.
Damn them internet masks.
I don't like it.
Oh, no one said you have to like it.
I don't like your logic at all. But you know what I do like? I love me that news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Look, I'll be honest. I thought that was one of my better segues. So welcome to the news of the week, people. It's that part of the show where we recap what is in our minds. Some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week or so and share with you fine folks watching live or watching/listening at a later date. Let's see. Looks like we're a bit game heavy, so I will start with the non-gaming news first, which means, hey, I get to go first. I want to talk about comics, which I haven't gotten to talk about on this show in a while. And for those that are long time, I mean, like going back into single digit viewers of the podcast, I used to talk about comics a lot because there was a time when I was far more into comics than I am now. I read very casually. I still greatly enjoy it. But back in the day when we were in the single and double digits, I was a regular guest host on the Fanboy Buzz podcast, which is a podcast that's probably been dead for 10 years at this point in time as everyone moved off on other things. But I feel like it's time to dip my toes back in that water a little bit and let's talk comics. And I got real excited earlier this year because you guys know Greg Capullo is one of my favorite artists out there. His run on Batman with Scott Snyder is incredible. All of Capullo's artwork is great.
Rebirth.
Yep. And he had been teasing the fact that he has a mystery Marvel project coming up at the beginning of the year. Well, we finally found out what that project is. And here's the cool thing. He gets to be paired with Jonathan Hickman on this project. So this is like a collision again, similar to what we had with Snyder and Capullo, where you have a writer that is incredibly talented with an artist that is also incredibly talented, pairing their talents together to bring us a pretty cool comic book on page. Now, notice I haven't said what book they're doing yet. Now I realize I put it in the show notes, so you guys probably already know.
We know, but they don't know.
Yeah, you fine folks watching live don't. Greg Capullo and Jonathan Hickman are joining together to do a mini series with Marvel Comics called Wolverine Revenge. So I'm not a huge Wolverine fan, but I am a Hickman and Capullo fan, so I'm quite excited. I'm going to polygon.com for the article here. I'll share some screenshots here in a second. But they had an interview with Jonathan Hickman and Greg Capullo. Capullo, in an email, had said, I've finally returned home to Marvel and I'm ready to raise some hell. And who better to do that with than Hitman Hickman? To celebrate, Marvel's removed the fences and let us off our leash so that we can bring the most vicious and punishing Wolverine story possible to the fans this summer. I hope they're prepared. The official Marvel summary is he's been beaten, he's been bloodied, and Logan has only one thought on his mind: revenge. Now, you notice Capullo made a big point of bringing up the violence and things like that associated with it. Well, they have been granted permission and Marvel will be releasing what they call a red band edition of Wolverine Revenge. This will contain pages not in the regular edition that is, quote, with elevated violence you won't see anywhere else. Marvel has said this red band version of the issue will also be polybagged for the protection of innocent eyes, as they put it. So we're sort of getting back into one of the 90s gimmicks here. And we've seen it also with this, what's this current miniseries on, like the Blood Hunt, I think it is. They did something similar there too, where there were 2 editions of it. One that was very bloody and one that was less bloody. I mean, we're talking about vampires and stuff here. But
vampires or vampires?
Vampires, not peers.
Vampires.
Just
so
making sure. Gotta keep
Marvel
on those.
Marvel did announce this will be dropping in late August, and I have to share some screenshots with you. And of the sample images, I'm getting these from Polygon.com. You can find a link in our show notes to go view them yourselves. But here's those pretty Capullo pencils for the cover.
I just dropped Wolverine off my pull list.
Well, this is a mini, not the mainline book. So this would be a separate pull.
I may have to get. Yeah. What do you still have a pull list, Chris?
I do, but it's pretty much just Ultimate Spider-Man and some Doctor Who books that my wife reads right now because I've cut back a lot.
Yes, I think I'm down to 3 books now. Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man. So like that's all I'm getting monthly.
But these pages, I mean,
yeah,
they're gorgeous. It's Greg Capullo, and he's getting to draw Wolverine with dinosaurs right now. I'm in. I'm totally in.
Well, and plus if Hickman's writing it, you know the story's going to be solid. So,
I mean, I did enjoy his run for the first half. I've been reading some of the Krakoa arc that they've been doing with the X-Men, and it obviously changed when Hickman left, and they seem like they changed what some of their plans were. But it's been interesting. I've really enjoyed what I've read so far. But yeah, it looks like we've got Wolverine fighting dinosaurs. I'm in. I'm in. Look at this. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and Capullo's artwork is just, he's one of those guys. It's funny because of all the ones, all the people that started, like the superstars that left Marvel and DC to start Image, you know, Todd McFarlane was one of the biggest names. But Todd McFarlane was the only one that, while working on his own book, went and found somebody to not only take over for him to draw his style, but draw his style better than him. Greg Capullo came in and took over and did Todd McFarlane better than Todd McFarlane.
And then he did.
Was a hell of an artist.
He did a really cool spinoff that was very Spawn looking for a while in Haunt that Image had, which I enjoyed, but Haunt didn't last for more than a few years, I don't think. But
no,
Capullo,
and Haunt was a mix too, because it was Capullo only did the layouts, I think, and then Otley did the finishes.
That's right. But Capullo is incredibly talented. And I got to meet him at C2E2 many years ago. He's one of there's a lot of nice people in comics. Capullo is one of the nicest I met, where his line was huge because this was in the heyday of his Batman run with Scott Snyder. And like he made a point of he walked the entire line before he sat down to do his signing while people were queuing up to talk to people, take pictures, shake hands, stuff like that. Incredibly kind guy just to come through and talk to everyone. And he's super cool. I love Greg Capullo. I think he's awesome. SP's in the chat room. He asked in regards to the polybagged comic, is it like Penthouse? Effectively, yes, because this and what they have with the Blood Hunt, because I saw it at my local comic shop, they have them sealed so that kids can't view them without opening them, because it is of, not that we use the comic code authority or anything anymore, but
2 questions.
Yes.
One, since it's fresh, do penthouses still get published in magazine form still?
Probably. It's probably pretty niche if it does.
But that's just a random thought that popped up with that question. 2, what's with all the gimmicks with these 2 talented people? Like it's needed. Like I don't get it. Why?
It's not needed, but Wolverine or Marvel just likes gimmicks. Like they want to sell more copies.
This is what we saw in the 90s. This is how you pump up things with the speculator market, because the speculator market has been starting to tick up again, which is, oh my God,
it's Red Band.
Yeah, I've got to collect all the variant editions of the Capullo and Hickman Wolverine. So they'll probably be the standard edition, the polybag standard edition, then variants that are specific to each and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely saw that again going through my comics, splitting my collection and moving a set of comics into the keepers boxes, into the boxes I want to get rid of. And on that run of Walking Dead, when I hit issue 100, I'm like, oh yeah, I just spent like $80 because it did like 12 covers and I got all of them. Damn you, Robert Kirkman.
This is why I'm a comic reader and not necessarily a collector anymore, because, and other people can attest to this too, who collected during the 90s. This is what kind of burns you out. Is it's like every issue is a milestone issue for no perceptible reason other than to pump sales. Every issue has some gimmick to it where if you buy this version at retailer X, then you get this custom exclusive cover. But if you go to retailer Y, they have a 1 in 25 variant that has something slightly different.
Were you serious about that?
Yeah.
They get that 1 in 25 variant?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I might go check it out then if that's the case.
And there's some cool variants that are out there and stuff like that. But I can't imagine in today's world on some of these things, I have to have every edition of this book that comes out, because when you get into some of those variants, like the 1 in 250 and stuff like that, they're insane. I mean, and for a retailer to be able to get that, that means they have to order 250 of the book. And not many retailers, comic shops, like I can sell 250 of random book X.
Yeah, so they're stuffing fill their 25, 50-cent bins just so they can get a variant. That's all right. I'll take a variant over a relaunch number 1 any day. Having just cataloging now my keepers, and one of the things I've kept is Amazing Spider-Man, because I've got something like issue 385 to current. So, it's a pretty big damn run. What's weird is how many issue number 1s in there do you think I have?
4 or 5, probably.
Yeah, I shouldn't have any, and I have like 4. I have like 4 relaunch of Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. They go back to issue number 1. They do 20, 30, 40 issues, and they go, oh, we're coming up on a legacy anniversary. Switch the numbering back again. I should not have any number 1s between issue 400 and 900, and yet I have like 4 of them.
But that's the current gimmick everywhere. We've seen it with DC Comics stuff too. We've seen it with Marvel Comics, things like that. Is okay, we want to kickstart this new creative era, so we're gonna finish the current run of book X and end it on issue 652, and then it's going to start on issue 1, a new volume, and then new creative team comes in 3 years later, and they're like, okay, we're going back to the original numbering now to honor where we came from. So it becomes very very tricky for collecting. And Amazing Spider-Man did it a few times, because they did it in the late 90s. I remember that. They did it with the Clone Saga also, I think, because
that's twice with Dan Slott.
Yeah, they did it twice with Dan Slott. I think they did it. Didn't they do it again after Slott left?
Yeah, with Nick Spencer and Ryan Otley.
That
was another new number 1.
And I think they might have done it with the current Zeb Wells run too, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It just feels like something they would have done.
I have at least 4 number 1s in between issue like 400 and current, and I shouldn't have any, and I have 4.
And here's the thing. Like, people buy it because they speculate and they get a bunch of CGC grades of it, but a number 1 that isn't like a real number 1, it's just a renumbering. It ain't worth crap, guys.
It was one thing I loved about Kirkman trying to do his comics thing, was that I think twice they launched quote unquote first issues of Invincible between issue 1 and issue 144. But I think it was like issue 50 was big number 1 first issue of a new storyline. And then like in the corner it said like the actual issue number. Like the issue numbers were always on the cover. The other thing that got me was during a lot of the Marvel renumbering crap, they started doing like issue 17.1.
Oh, I hated that.
17.KH for the Kraven's Hunt storyline. It's like, that's not even a number, you jackass. I spent like 4 days like cataloging the comics and Amazing Spider-Man, because that's how long it took to write down each individual one, because none of them are numbers. Like it's like I can't just write issue 400 through 500, because in there is 3 renumberings and a bunch of shit. Yeah, like there was like 18.DE for a storyline, 18.KH. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They're not even numbers.
And then some were algebra. Some where there's no numbers on the cover because they wanted to do a weird cover that was nothing on it besides just the artwork, which is cool, but you got to make it at least so that I can open the book and easily find an issue number. No. SP's ask us in the chat room, do you know what run did not renumber? I was going to say Walking Dead, and I was going to say Saga.
Yeah. Walking Dead, Saga, Invincible. Unless you're talking about a Marvel book, I don't know if there is one that's never renumbered.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I think Marvel and DC, any of the big ones. Saga. Okay.
Saga.
Yeah. Which, yeah, they take breaks and they come back and they go back to their same numbers, which I appreciate. Yeah. As a collector, it's a giant pain in the ass. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're going to get some speculators to buy a couple more of your number ones if you relaunch a number one. And then you know what happens? They all drop off before issue number 2 because none of those people are buying your book. They're just buying speculation number 1 copies. And in the long run, you hurt your comic.
This is the same thing that
renumbering it.
Yeah, it's the same thing that killed a lot of interest in the 90s when it went to all of these mega events, mega crazy variant books, blah, 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 blah. Like, I love the new Ultimate Spider-Man book, for instance, but there was something like 14 different covers for Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. And Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, first printings sold out across the board. The prices are insane on some of those first printings. Now, even like the traditional cover first printing, I think was up like $80 at one point when I was looking. I have no intention of getting rid of mine just because I like it. But yeah, and part of this is due to speculation because people are like, hey, it's a number 1 with a Jonathan Hickman written book. I'm going to pick this up because people are going to fall over themselves about it. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 is going to be worth $80 a year from now after the speculation dies down.
You don't know
that. That's true. It could very well go up. Who knows?
You're not kidding. There's like a $75 one on eBay.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
Like, it just came out. Oh, some bastard's got a 9.8 CG seed one though.
Yeah, what? About $250 probably?
Actually, the 0 bids. They want $10 for it. I need
Well,
to
that's just the starting bid.
Go away, eBay.
Yeah.
You're going to get me in trouble with my wife. I can't
eBay's
be looking
dangerous.
at that shit.
I can't go on eBay and I can't go on Whatnot right now. They're both dangerous for me. Whatnot
that's
especially.
easy. That's all easy to do. Just don't do it.
That's why I don't.
I know.
Good job.
That's why I never downloaded the Whatnot. Every time Chris talks about getting something cool on Whatnot, I'm like, nope, I can't do it. Between Funko Pops and comic books, I can't have that app.
Whatnot? Why not?
Because I'd be broke. That's why not. And I got a mortgage to pay.
But hey,
don't think about that.
There's entire shows just for Funko Pops. You could easily fill some holes.
Yeah, I could easily.
Whoa!
If I start a Whatnot, if I start a Whatnot, it's gonna be to sell some Funko Pops, not to buy no more.
You could do that too.
Though those damn Invincible ones look really good.
It has been interesting though. There's some folks on Whatnot that are like, "Hey, we have physical locations, but there's a couple different ones. Like, yeah, we do so well on Whatnot right now. We're probably going to close our physical location because it's easier for me to do a Whatnot stream 3 or 4 days a week and do some prep work for it, and not have to pay someone to sit there for 8 hours and have like 6 people come into my store."
There you go.
It's an interesting transition you're starting to see. Of course, my question is, what happens when people inevitably jump to whatever the new service is, or this model kind of collapses on itself? I don't know what'll happen then, but
because then you're chasing the next app, trying to keep up your business.
Let these guys ride the wave. There's a bunch of video game collectors and stuff, and video game hunters on YouTube and stuff that have all pivoted to using Whatnot to support their business a ton and stuff too. And they seem to do really well with it. And they've done interesting things like, hey, we're out hunting, blah, 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 blah. And all of the stuff you've seen us buy in this video is going to be on our Whatnot stream. And they'll be like, and it's in 2 weeks on this day, blah, 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 blah. And it seems to work for them. It's definitely an interesting model.
Well, I saw Mr. Morrow do one for picking up like stuff at like the thrift stores around Disney World, and then he did a Whatnot selling like all the Disney stuff he bought and then giving the money to charity. Yeah, he did really well on that. I think he made like a couple grand for the charity that he was like selling stuff for, which is kind of cool.
I mean, Whatnot gets a healthy cut too. I don't recall how much, but
yeah,
it's the nature of the
beast.
Of
course, yeah, they all do. They all got to get their cut. And apparently eBay's is worse than it used to be.
I mean, I can't tell you the last time I bought. No, I did buy something on eBay a couple weeks back. Never mind. I was going to say I couldn't tell you the last time I bought something. I had to get myself an RJ City micro brawler. Love me some RJ City.
He has a little micro brawler.
Yeah.
Doesn't he only just do like the podcast and like audio commentary?
He used to be a wrestler.
Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't know he was a wrestler. Yeah. I thought he was just like a commentary guy.
No, he was a wrestler.
Okay. I thought he was like a Tony Schiavone type. I didn't know he was a wrestler.
He was indeed. So yeah, I do dabble very occasionally on the eBay still. And there's a couple shows on Whatnot that sometimes a notification pops in and I will watch just because I like the personalities that host it. It's good background noise when you're like cleaning the kitchen or doing some other chores and stuff like that. But I've been pretty good. And on Whatnot, the last thing I did was some card breaks, I think, just because it entertained me for trading cards. I spent a whopping $15 and got some decent cards out of a case break that someone did. It was fun. I like finding ways to entertain myself. But hey, apologies for the tangent, everyone. That wraps up my news story. Go pick up Wolverine Revenge. It's Hickman and Capullo. It's going to be great, I'm sure. I think it's only a 4 or 5 issue mini, so it's not a big time commitment you're putting into it. And I'm really curious to see what Capullo does next if he's still working with Marvel after that, because there could be some cool stuff. I'd love to see him on an X-Men book, but
well, if they're doing,
there's gonna be gimmicks. Buy it because of gimmicks.
yeah.
I'm just like, if they're doing red band books for Capullo, and they've still got like Ryan Otley's around, nobody's drawn like more violent stuff. And the only one that could probably compare to Capullo would be Ryan Otley with Invincible. They could do some violent superhero comics if Marvel wants to go that route.
Who's drawing Blood Hunt?
Oh, isn't it going through like multiple books?
I don't know. I need to look.
Yeah, that one I just sadly I wasn't too interested in.
Art by Pepe Larraz and Marty Garcia, it says on here.
I think it's some of the Young Gun names for a few years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting too old. The events don't even like interest me anymore.
I mean, I can't tell you the last time one of the events had me like, oh my God, I've got to read this. Like, I remember how excited I was like for Civil War, like in 2007.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be great. Now, part of that's because Steve McNiven's pencils are some of the most gorgeous out there.
Yeah. Steve McNiven is just a gorgeous artist. Like that's one of the guys, like he's on the list. It's like, if I could get one of those pages, I love my Ryan Otley pages, but I would love a Steve McNiven.
He draws the Captain America for me because no one else quite gets the chainmail to look the same as what McNiven does. It's gorgeous.
True. He does do a damn good Cap.
That said, I've taken us on a comic tangent. I've enjoyed stretching those muscles that I have not used in a while on this show. It's a good trip.
You mean like the muscles SP's working out right now?
He is. And
so live SP.
And while SP is rolling out, Willie, why don't you talk to him all about how to spot red flags from games as a service? Because we know you're our expert when it comes to that.
Now, there have been rumors circulating about the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Not being too much longer for this world. There are rumors about it. And if they are true, what does this mean as games as a service? Especially for that one. Like, is it worth putting your time and effort and the microtransactions into it? And what makes a game, continue on as a game as a service? Such as one of my favorite ones is Dead by Daylight. It is still running, still going, new content every 2 to 3 months or even in between. Their mobile version is a whole other separate division and plays differently a bit. But the Avengers game wasn't too well received. Did any of you guys happen to play any of it? I can't remember.
Yes, and it was on Game Pass near the end too, but I picked it up and played some of the campaign and enjoyed that. And I was like, I'll finish it at some point in time, but it was a blatant cash grab when you buy it to be like, here, buy this microtransaction, unlock this skin pack, or collect these 6 different kinds of in-game currency to unlock Iron Man's right gauntlet from issue 416 of this obscure run of stuff and nonsense.
No, I wish it was that. I wish it was that because that'd be cool. Then you actually collect the stuff and actually wear it. No, it wasn't that. Most of them were, color swaps.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. Their method to try and lock me in to decide I need to keep playing it wasn't to be like, hey, make a compelling story that has some really cool expansion packs that we keep tossing on top of it. I think part of what hurt them is that their DLC was so long to get out there.
Oh, very long.
Yeah.
Well, that and also they were working on the whole theory of, well, it can't look anything like the actors in the movies because we don't want to pay likeness rights. So they went so hard to not make the characters look like what everybody thinks of as the characters. It made them all look weird.
They do have the movie skin variants that I do believe use the likenesses, I believe.
Yeah, they put those in near
worse.
the end, didn't they?
Yeah. And
don't-
those were definitely, I think, worth $10 each. I think if you got them. But here's the fun thing: they just made all of these skins free. You have access to them.
I mean, that's the way to do it if you're going to kill the game off, though. I mean, they
Mhm.
effectively said we're going to cease development, cease anything on this game. This version is the final version of the game, and they turned the paywall off for all of that stuff. That's the right way to do it. Now, I don't know how long the servers will be active for you to be able to do anything, or even if they still are. But right now, and they fire saled the game too. Like I think I bought a copy for my wife because Xbox had it on sale like a week before it was delisted for like $3. And I was like, okay, if you ever want to play it, here's this.
I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, playing now with everything unlocked, like, sure, you could have some fun in it.
Yeah, there was an interesting story. It's just there was nothing compelling to do once you finished the story, is what it was. I was like, there's nothing else to do. I don't want to go and collect comic book covers. There's nothing to make me. I have to go do this mini event in game. This is going to be a lot of fun. I was like, okay, story's done.
Well,
you lost me.
The one is the one thing I want to do, which I have yet to do, and want to do while the servers are still on, is the claw raid, which you need a lot of cooperative working together to get. There's some puzzles in there that you need communication to really help, from what I've heard. And I've tried it once, didn't get that far into it, and I have yet to try since. So
I don't know.
I'll download it.
I don't know what the player base is like online for that game anymore. That would be the problem.
I'm sure find something.
Yeah, I mean, think similar to like Anthem, a game that wants you to partner up with people to play. No, I'm not saying they're equivalent, but like you can still launch Anthem. But there's some people I occasionally pop on the subreddit just to see, and like I was in matchmaking for 10 minutes before I could get a game going where anyone would show up in it, stuff like that, because it's just dead. People aren't playing it anymore.
I was saying, because another games as a service.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Anthem.
But so why is Overwatch still going? Yet those other ones kind of faltering.
Because some people just, once they get addicted to the crack, they can't let go.
I think shooters are easier to. I think shooters are somewhat easier to get people hooked on, for lack of a better term, than.
Well, I mean, I haven't been keeping up with Call of Duty, but don't they release a new one every year? So I don't know if I would consider that as a game as a service.
But Overwatch is, isn't it?
Oh, a hero shooter.
Yeah.
Hero shooter, yeah.
Oh, and then Rivals is coming out. I wonder what's that going to do to Overwatch.
I mean, it's hard to dethrone these games, but we have seen it happen. Because remember, PUBG was supposed to be like the big thing, and then Fortnite pivoted and said, "Hey, we're going to shift to doing a very similar method of gameplay." And when's the last time you heard? Yeah, exactly. And that's my point. Is when's the last time you heard people talking about PUBG in comparison to the media blitz that we get about everything being in Fortnite and all these random new characters getting added and stuff like that?
Well, in all fairness, Fortnite is penicillin too.
This is not me
just
crapping on Fortnite. Yeah. bear in mind, I'm not crapping on Fortnite. I'm just saying that they took what PUBG thought they were going to be because they were able to do it faster, quicker, and find a way to get people into it. Whereas at the time, I think PUBG was only on PC and had a limited beta on Xbox at the time when Fortnite just blew up. And now I think PUBG's everywhere, but the world is just saturated with Fortnite.
Yeah, and a bunch of people that have never actually played the Fortnite game. They've only played the Fortnite Battle Royale. So, of course, now when you go into Fortnite, it has multiple different game modes and lots of them. Epic Games is trying to make it to where kids don't log into Xbox anymore. They just log into Fortnite World.
I mean, there's something to be said for that because you're console agnostic.
Yeah.
You can play on whatever you have. Because remember, Fortnite, you can play and have pretty much the same experience between a cell phone, a tablet, a Switch, an Xbox, a PC. Well, it all runs relatively the same.
And that Lego Fortnite, that Lego Fortnite is fun. I gotta say it. It's fun as hell. I can go into Fortnite, log into my Fortnite characters, and go into a building Lego world. Like, it's cool. I like it.
Add another Lego game to the pile.
Yep.
right? I mean, but games as a service, it's been problematic for a long time. We're just starting to see the bubble burst because everyone decided they needed to have one. So they rushed them out. They weren't quite ready. But like, Willie, you brought up the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Everyone had decent expectations for it at first because it was Rocksteady, just because of their reputation. And then it came out and it was not great. And it doesn't help that the Warner Brothers CEO basically came out like a month or two after that game came out and said, yeah, it vastly underperformed and lost us a lot of money, basically, which then had people questioning whether there would be a chance to right the ship. Because remember, not all these games as a service are necessarily good when they come out, but some of them find their footing and become something better. Let's look at Sea of Thieves, for example, as something that when it first came out had issues. People weren't quite on board with it. And now Sea of Thieves is pretty popular. It's gone multi-platform now as it's come to PlayStation and things, for instance. And there's a pretty dedicated group of players that are on there that are buying the DLC and stuff like that when it comes out. And that's because Microsoft kept at it. Because what did we say last week? That was 2018, I think, when that came out.
I believe
Sounds
so.
right,
Yes.
yeah.
And then I think it was by like a year and a half, 2 years after that, they'd kind of buttoned down some of the things that were problematic, added more gameplay elements and stuff like that. And be like, man, if this was the game when it first came out, we would have talked completely differently about it.
I'm having a blast with it right now. So whatever they did the right thing.
So yeah, the No Man's Sky model can work if you don't charge for the updates.
I mean, the market's incredibly saturated. We know that. So you have to have something compelling to try and pull people away. And if you don't have something compelling to keep people there, they try it, they go, oh, this is shitty, or I don't like it. And then they go back to what their comfort thing is, be it Fortnite or Sea of Thieves or any of these other games as a services, games as a service rather, that are still thriving.
Yeah, and the fact that like Fortnite now has like IP from, Disney, Marvel, DC, freaking they added in Invincible, Rick and Morty. Yeah, they got cartoon characters. They got, every NFL team. They added in like I don't know if they added the entire like soccer, like all the soccer leagues, but I know they added like a lot of big like soccer teams that you could play as the characters. And then every DJ, every pop singer, everybody, if you get popular enough, you get your own Fortnite skin now, which is kind of insane.
Is there actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf in there?
There might be.
Give it time.
I know you can play as LeBron James or Ariana Grande. So like, once you're a big enough name, like they'll make a Fortnite skin for you. If you're
And
popular
Spider-Man.
enough for kid. Oh, there's like 6 different Spider-Mans in there.
Well, to move to a dead and resurrected games as a service, you can play as LeBron James in multiverses as well.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild. The whole world of games as a service is wild. And for people like me that are predominantly single player story games, that's what I enjoy. I kind of dabble, stick my toe in the waters from time to time, but never really stick with any of them.
Well, and I have to say too, I like the fact that like me and Jana actually, backed off of playing DBD. We both let our PlayStation subscriptions lapse, and we can still play Fortnite together. We don't have to pay for the PlayStation subscription to play Fortnite together like we did for DBD. So
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, and we can hop on every once in a while with the nephews. Like we have a nephew that's Chase. He's one of those little kids. He's cracked at it. Like he's great at Fortnite. We team up with that kid and we just kind of run behind him and try to, pick up the scraps while he's murdering trios. Like it's fun as hell. He's 16. He grew up on Fortnite. So, it's like me playing Pac-Man back in the day because I'm old.
Fortnite's the new Minecraft.
Yeah, kind of. Kids are growing up with it and building their all sorts of stuff in it. It's kind of cool.
Not that I mean they're the same kind of game, but they're the same when it comes to the younger elements playing them and that becoming like their default. This is what I want to play. It seems to be Fortnite right now.
It seems like it's been Fortnite for a long while, though.
And Roblox, I think it is too, is what everyone talks about. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right about that too. Yeah. People still do that. That also got released on the PlayStation as well. A couple months ago.
Yeah, I think so.
A year ago.
Yeah, with the Lego thing in Fortnite though, that gives you a Fortnite version of Minecraft or Roblox where you get to go in and build. Like they have their own building thing inside of a building game. It's ridiculous.
See me, I'm just like, give me more games like Spider-Man or the upcoming Wolverine one or a Mass Effect or some of these things that are like overarching, long, engaging stories where I can have fun with things, where I don't have to worry about trying to partner up with 6 other guys to do this one thing. But the thing is, those games don't make the money that the games as a service do or things like that.
Yep,
That's why they chase
unfortunately.
those. Like Spider-Man's a great game, but look at what the budget was for that. And then, yeah, they sold like gangbusters, but I wonder what the sales are compared to the budget of that game. And then say, compare that to some moderately successful game as a service that's out there.
Yeah.
They're probably making more continuous money with the games as a service model than they are off of something really fun and engaging single player wise, which is a problem for people like me who are old men in gaming at this point in time that prefer that kind of game.
Because I love me some Ghost of Tsushima, but yeah, the like, you know, $70-$80 I paid for that. They only got that payment once, and I got like 80 hours worth of gameplay out of it, but they don't get any more money from me, which is kind of sad. But I love that damn game. It was fun as hell.
I'm sure Sucker Punch is going to make a new game.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to, what is that one, the Wukong one, Black Immortal or whatever it's called, where you're the Monkey King.
Think it's out.
It looks like an even better version of a world rendered the way Ghost of Tsushima was, and it looks gorgeous. Like that game looks so pretty. Like, I'm looking forward to that one. But also, I mean, at this point, my plan is to buy, you know, Spider-Man at Christmas when it's on sale. So like, I got games lined up. I don't need other games.
My hope is they announce some kind of story DLC at some point in time. Like everyone kind of expected we'd hear something, but the game came out in November. It's May now. We haven't heard anything. There's stuff that came out in the Insomniac leaks, but you can't necessarily trust what came out of a leak of things that were talked about as potential DLC.
Yep. Rumors.
It's all iffy. It's all conjecture and scuttlebutt, sir.
I mean, at least New Game Plus pulled me back in, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't pull me back in at all.
I need an excuse to play my PlayStation. That's all it really is right now. I haven't been playing a ton of games.
I mean, Willie's on it. Just saying that. I mean,
that's why I go to my Xbox a lot.
that hurts. That hurts a lot.
I can play Sea of Thieves with you on Xbox. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that cross-platform?
Yes, there is cross-platform.
See? There you go. I'm just going to show up and attack your pirate ship one day when you're on there.
I like my pirate. Oh yeah, I don't remember if I said what I named my first galleon. I don't remember if I said that last week.
I thought you did.
You said both the gross names last week.
Both? Well, there was one gross name and one that's not a gross. One of the small ships is called the Crooning Schooner. That's all.
Yeah, that one was fun.
Okay, I guess only the other one. I guess only the other one was gross.
What, the Moist Rider?
Nah.
That's a great ship name.
I think
you
it's
ride
funny.
all the moisters. It's so moist out here.
I guess to wrap up your topic, though, Willie, the topic was how to spot red flags from games as a service. I think all games as a service are a red flag because they don't match
that is
style.
I say, yeah, the red flag is the term games as a service. As soon as they say they want a monthly payment.
Yeah. Did you have anything else on the topic, though, Willie?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, just bring you. You mean you never played WoW?
I never did, actually.
I did.
Subscription though, right?
Oh yeah, they got a lot of my money.
That's how they get you.
See, I had a level 70 hunter troll named Malachi.
Of course, you were a troll.
Of course, I was.
Look,
I had an awesome red raptor as my pet that I would sick on people and then shoot them with arrows. It's fantastic.
I knew better than to play that game because I knew if I started playing it, especially when I was in college, I would have not gone to class and I would have been in academic trouble. And hey, funny enough, my friends, a lot of them who are really obsessed with that game, didn't go to class and were in academic trouble. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't play.
Yeah, there was a few times me and my roommate probably should have been working on homework that we were playing World of Warcraft instead. But it was also, like I said, I was transferring out of City of Heroes, so I needed, I had to move that addiction somewhere.
You need that ejection somewhere else, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, we talked about one game as a service and how to spot red flags. With those ideas in mind and how to spot red flags, let's talk about another game as a service that is announcing some new content. Bachman, what you got for us?
Well, the new content itself will be on multiverses. The big news, though, is that the reason that's happening is we got a launch of a new thing called Jason Universe. So from an IGN article, Horror Inc. announces multi-platform expansion of Friday the 13th franchise. We are focusing on honoring the legacy while elevating the fan experience and appealing to today's horror audiences. So this is from a May 16th article by Jim Vijvoda. I'm not sure about that name. IGN can exclusively report that Horror Inc. is expanding the Friday the 13th franchise into a new era with the launch of Jason Universe. If you go look, it's where it says it's here. So new Friday the 13th activations will span a wide range of platforms through entertainment, games, immersive experiences, merchandise, and more to be announced throughout 2024 via at Jason Universe 13 on social media or by visiting the official Jason Universe website. And the website at this point is basically just the name, the logo, and then you can sign up for the email, which I did, and you just get a confirmation email. In the statement provided to IGN, for decades, Jason shocked and thrilled audiences who kept coming back for more. We're excited to work with Victor Miller and Mark Toberoff on new projects we'll announce in the coming months, said Robert Barsimian, president of Horror Inc. Victor Miller was the screenwriter of the original Friday the 13th movie who reclaimed the domestic rights to the original slasher film in 2021 after a lengthy lawsuit. As me and Willie know, for the problems that it caused with the Friday the 13th game. Says Miller is, however, not a part of Horror Inc. Barsimian is an executive producer on the upcoming A24 and Peacock expanded prequel series Crystal Lake, which originally had Hannibal's Brian Fuller aboard as its showrunner before he parted ways with the project last week. Barsimian is also the executive producer on 2017's Friday the 13th game. Added Robbie Barsimian, VP of Horror Inc., we're focused on honoring the legacy while elevating the fan experience and appealing to today's horror audience as we develop new ways to watch, interact, and engage with Jason. With the unique ability to remain at the forefront of pop culture for 44 years, Jason continues to top charts as one of the scariest villains of all time, with strong global awareness across multiple generations thanks to billions of TikTok views, plus millions and millions of gamers and movie fans, says Sherry Khan, global GM of Horror Inc. We can't wait to introduce new Jason Universe activations to amazing fans, which I hate how everything's an activation now. It's so annoying.
And a universe.
Yeah, everything's a universe. Yeah, it's the Jason Universe, really. But what it is, I went back and I read the breakdown after Brian Fuller left on the Variety article about that. For just basically they wanted to go different ways with the prequel series Crystal Lake, and kind of the breakdown on a couple months back where they posted about the thing. So it basically comes down to Sean Cunningham, directed Friday the 13th. And in the quickest, easiest terms, what it was is Sean Cunningham was like, hey, I came up with Friday the 13th. I own everything. And Victor Miller was like, well, no, I wrote the screenplay and it wasn't work for hire. Like Marvel artists back in the day drawing stuff for Marvel that Marvel said they didn't own the artwork. This guy's like, hey, I wrote the screenplay. I own these characters. And so he got the domestic rights for all of the Camp Crystal Lake characters and young Jason, because young Jason appears at the end of the first movie. So what it seems to break down to now is that Horror Inc. owns Jason Voorhees and everything that appeared in all the sequels, and Miller owns Camp Crystal Lake and everything that was in the very first film, which includes young Jason. So we're going to see a divide on those two things, which is why that Peacock is still apparently moving forward with a prequel series called Crystal Lake, where I guess we might see a younger Pamela Voorhees doing the multiple murders that led up to the first movie, because they talk about the well was poisoned 1 year. Some campers went missing 1 year, multiple times Pamela Voorhees attacked the camp. So we might see that in a prequel show, but it looks like Horror Inc. is going to be able to move forward with putting Jason Voorhees, adult Jason, wherever they want, which they've already released. He's showing up in the next expansion to Multiverses. They added Agent Smith and a very large hulking Jason Voorhees with the chain around his neck from part 5. And then in one of the little clips I saw, he does a power up and motherfucker straight turns Uber Jason. So they got the Kane Hodder Uber Jason costume from Jason X, where Jason goes to space, where he's got the metal and he's titanium Jason. So yeah, they've already a day after announcing this, bam, here comes Jason in Multiverses. So it looks like they're moving forward with it. I actually found out all about this stuff watching an episode. Polyester, who you guys may not know, is a streamer for a DBD and a Fog Whisperer, and he likes doing like Tin Hat, what he calls conspiracy episodes, where he just talks about what may be coming up in DBD. And he was saying, hey, the lawsuit's over. We might actually get Jason now as the next IP killer because they can do that now. Like, Horror Inc. apparently can go forward and put Jason anywhere they want. And so we may actually be looking at maybe actually having, Freddy, Jason, Mike Myers, and Leatherface all in DBD now. They may get them all because at this point, really, of the old horror icons, Jason's the only one that's missing. And it's been because of these lawsuits have stopped, it messed with the original game. It messed with TV shows. It messed with movies they've tried to launch. They've tried to relaunch like the Friday the 13th franchise, I think 2 or 3 times, which they're really wanting to get on it now. Because if you guys haven't been counting, like some of us horror fans have, the next movie that's called Friday the 13th will be the 13th Friday the 13th film if you include Freddy versus Jason. So someone's got to do the 13th Friday the 13th film. You just can't not do that. Like, it's going to happen at some point. Whether or not it's good, who knows? But we're going to get it. And now that Jason Universe is a thing, you can damn guarantee they're going to do it soon. So I'm assuming we're going to get, more game announcements, merchandise, probably another Friday the 13th game, I wouldn't doubt. And yeah, he'll probably start showing up in places like Dead by Daylight, freaking the next Mortal Kombat again. He's been in there before. Like, if he showed up in Multiverses, I don't doubt that we won't see Jason everywhere now.
So if he
They
shows
got the
up,
rights figured out.
if he makes DBD, are you coming back to DBD?
I mean, I would probably have to play some more DBD and play Killer if I could come back and play as Jason Voorhees. Especially, I want to see how they do the slow walking as a teleport ability.
How the come back.
Maybe. We'll see. Because, yeah, I mean, sadly, with all the stuff they've been announcing, like, I don't know, this a DB, like a Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't go to play DBD to play against Dungeons and Dragons characters. And even though some of that stuff look cool, But I don't know. They get Jason back. They may get me back for a month. We'll see. I won't say no.
Chris, did you hear this, dude? He said Vecna ain't shit. Can you believe that?
Yeah, because as Polyester mentioned in his video, he's got that little mark on his neck that said the entity made you his bitch. And that's why Vecna's not as strong in DBD as he is in Dungeons and Dragons, which, I don't know, the concept of the mark of the entity now can make you weaker than you are in your world when you get shoved into the DBD world. Though, I'll be honest, I was a little more excited. I love the idea of Jason. I mean, the fact that they had to make Evan McMillan as like the fake Jason in the game, kind of annoying, but it gave them their own character. But one of the things that they talked about also is like, if the other polyester conspiracy theory thing was that they might bring in Sidney Prescott and Ghostface as the next actual IP for Killer and Survivor instead of only having the IP to the Ghostface costume. If they did that, that would definitely bring me back. If I could play as Sidney, like that would be cool because Sidney Prescott's a badass. I mean, the last character I really loved in that game was freaking, they threw in the Nostromo and the Alien. The Alien was fun as hell to play, but playing as Ripley was freaking cool because Ripley's a badass.
It's true.
Yeah. But, we might see Jason. Oh, we're definitely going to see more Jason. The question of whether or not we see Jason in DVD is still up in the air, but with Jason Universe going forward, and you can see like they haven't done much with the Twitter, the Instagram accounts yet, and like I said, the website itself, it's literally just sign up for the email. That's all you can really do. But I mean, the fact that they had all that stuff pre-branded and ready to go, like they're moving forward. We're going to see a whole lot of Jason Voorhees.
So
he's going to be everywhere.
Is this the next step of marketing? Because they were already doing this stuff just behind the scenes. Like they were already kind of, putting out sellings. But now we got to have a marketing team behind what we're putting the marketing team behind.
Always. Yeah. There's always, it's
sure.
The stuff behind the stuff.
Why? Okay, sure. Let's make that look pretty too and serve it up to the public.
Well, the one that I thought was really ridiculous is, I don't know if you've looked yet, but have you seen how Jason Universe is spelled?
Yes, no. I was wondering. Took
and
me
a
way
3.
too long.
Yeah.
Why those numbers are there? Like, why is that there? I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. Took me
And
way
that's
too
why
long.
the account is at Jason Voorhees or at Jason Universe 13. Yeah, so they got to have the 13 in it for all the Friday the 13th stuff.
Sure.
I mean, that's probably also one of those things. It's like, well, you try to go out there and find, a YouTube channel, a Gmail account, a Twitter account, and an Instagram that you can put one name on all of them. That ain't easy to do anymore these days.
There's a username I have that's free everywhere, and I'm not going to repeat it.
South Porky.
God damn it, Chris! You piece of shit!
Well, you should already have them all by now.
Well,
If you
hold
ain't
on,
South
Willie.
Porky on TikTok, you're behind schedule.
Hold on. Do you own southporky.com?
No, Chris, I don't own any .coms.
I'm not sure you want to type southporky.com. Do we want to even see what's on
Actually,
there?
that's to be fair. Actually, I didn't even realize that it was a dick joke. That thought never even came to my head. Never once did it pop into my head until someone said it within the last year. And I'm like,
Hi, my
Okay.
name's Willie Nelson. I'm an
Oh.
unintentional dick joke.
Good news. If you go to southporky.com, it can't connect. There's nothing to be reached. So either it doesn't exist, or
Yeah.
whoever owns it has not put a landing page of any kind on there
why
That's
would
probably
anyone even
good.
want to buy it?
to spite you.
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm never going to use a .com. Spite yourself.
I mean, I guess I could buy it just to point it to our show.
What are you going to be, Willie? A .tv?
I'm not going to be a dot anything. What
You
South
you
Porky
should be a
does not
.ed.
need to be. It doesn't need to be a website. I just wanted to use it as a username. That's it.
Southporky.ed. He's educational.
That's edu, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, you .gov.
So, Willie, there's a reason why nothing showed up there, because southporky.com is available to purchase right now.
But
All
why
right.
would anyone want to purchase it? It doesn't. I don't. I just want to use it as a username on.
But
things.
Willie, there is good news. There is a bunch of other domains you can
Oh.
get for far cheaper. We'll just show this right here. You can
Do
get southporky.net. You can get southporky.sucks.
No, that one's too expensive.
You can
Yeah,
get
that's a pricey one.
southporky.delivery.
Wait, southporky.net's a penny.
First year with a 3-year term. Yeah, buy it for 3 years.
Okay.
Alright.
And then what? $25 after that
Probably.
for the next 2 years.
South
That's
Porky
not bad.
Shop $1.49.
Southporky.xyz. You can get the .org.
So here's my question: Who's selling these?
Pretty much any. I just did
Domain
a
registrar.
Yeah, any domain registrar. I just put into a Google search of who is to
So
bring up a
who's
site that
setting
does
the
who is.
prices for this?
The market.
Yeah,
That isn't vague enough. Be more
Yeah.
vague.
You can be southporky.online for 99 cents.
Or it could be porkysouth.com.
PorkySouth.com for a penny.
Southporky.live. Point that to your Twitch page.
Southporky.biz, where all your .biz goes.
I hate all of you.
Or you could be porksouthie.com.
Ooh, South Porker.
Soporky.com.
So Porky. So South Porky USA
Southporkybarbecue.com.
for a penny.
I mean, I love barbecue.
I do
but
too.
'cause I'm in the land of barbecue.
Oh, here you go, Willie. Southporky.fun.
There you go.
That's too much.
You could have the .fun or .rentals if you get into the rental business. There you go.
All right,
The world is your oyster.
Chris, did you have fun filler busting?
I did. The filibustering has been really good. We need to see. SP
Okay.
did comment at 9:21 p.m. He is still alive because he was saying he has no idea who Stargate Pioneer is on TikTok.
That was a couple minutes ago. SP, you still alive?
This is why
You
I
still on
hate
the treadmill?
acronyms.
We're just filibustering hard. That's all.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I grabbed, because I tried doing TikTok for a little bit with like my DVD streaming stuff. I think I grabbed the at Bach 2099 one because I wasn't trying to get my name. I was just doing it for streaming. But yeah, I don't know if there is an at Anthony Bachman on TikTok because I don't have TikTok. I don't look at. I'm 46. I'm not TikToking.
SP lives, by
SP's
the way.
still alive. All right.
No. He's saying, "Oh, I thought he was saying I'm still."
still.
And he stopped moving. I'm still.
I'm still.
Oh no! All right.
You know,
falling,
as
I
I'm
can't reach
falling,
my
I can't
keyboard.
get up. Oh.
On that note, we do know SP's been working out for a bit. He said stick with us to the end credits. Let's take a little mercy on him here, and we'll start
Never.
wrapping things up.
Never.
For those
No
unfamiliar,
mercy.
for those unfamiliar, how we wrap things up on this show is a final segment, a bit we like to call What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you fine folks who are watching live or listening at a later date the geeky and nerdy stuff we've been getting into, because, hey, you may want to go check it out yourselves. I will kick things off, and I sort of touched on it a little bit. Like, Netflix has had random new stuff showing up, or random old stuff showing up in it again. They had lost the rights to, because all of a sudden shows that I'd only watched halfway through before they went off Netflix are now back in my queue of things. Here, you need to finish this. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? So it's just like it was many years ago. Everything's on Netflix instead of on their own streaming platforms for stuff. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? I haven't really been playing much in the way of video games lately, just because I've been sort of busy with life and other stuff that got in the way. Although I want to take this long weekend, because we have a 3-day weekend here in the States, and I want to pick up something. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to get anything that I haven't purchased already, but I know I do have like the most recent Day Saga to play that I'd picked up and stuff like that. Or I'll probably, who am I kidding? I'll play Spider-Man. I'm just going to fall back in the rabbit hole. Yeah, that's probably what I'll
bother you.
There you go. I was looking at getting the new Paper Mario game on Switch. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. It'll never go on sale. I think so.
Or is it just the remake of the 1,000-Year Door? Does that already come out and gone?
I thought this was a new one. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been paying a ton of attention. Honestly, the way I see most things anymore is if Wario 64 shares a deal with it, and Wario 64 is not as active on Threads as they are on Twitter. So I haven't
Morty, who just does as the gym commands him to.
No, it's mostly if I find a deal on something I've wanted to play, then I'll pick it up. And Wario 64 is pretty good about sharing deals on things, and I go, "Oh, I wanted to play that."
Yeah,
that's all.
Get back in your rabbit hole.
I will get back in my rabbit hole, but I did have a weird moment this week where I had something go not full viral, but semi-viral on Threads, and it blew up my mentions. So I had something that had like almost 2,000 likes and like 100 interactions and stuff. And I was like, I don't understand how people make this their shtick to want to go viral on Twitter or other social media. Cause like, this is just a pain in the ass trying to filter through all the comments. And to be fair, most of the comments, from what I could tell, were people that were either laughing about it or sharing a laugh with me. And it was fun to have that interaction. But I was like, I don't know how people who are legit famous are able to use these tools on a daily basis when their mentions just get filled up with stuff.
Oh, I can answer that.
They don't.
They don't, like I don't. They smart.
I would say their assistant deals with it.
That's fair. I mean, I have found I use Threads a lot now, and mostly I use Threads to talk about pro wrestling with people, because I've filtered things down enough just to get to a bunch of people that want to talk about wrestling and have fun with it. And there's not as many trolls on Threads when it comes to that. And those that expose themselves are then quickly blocked by everyone and called out. So it's been a relatively healthy discussion between folks on Threads talking about pro wrestling and stupid video games and stuff like that. I've been having fun on it. It reminds me a lot of the older days of Twitter. And in fact, I think the most recent time I tweet only to promote the show, I think, for the most part, just because people still follow me on Twitter. So I think I popped on there to promote the show, and I may have had a throwaway comment on there last night while watching professional wrestling to talk to some podcast hosts, because they weren't both on Threads, which bummed me out, because it's like, oh, are these guys on Threads? And I was like, only one of them are. Shit. And they haven't posted on Threads in over a year. So
and not everybody's making the transition yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the problem with that, is a lot of brands and stuff didn't too. So like, if you wanted to get support with something, Twitter's still the place to go in that regard. But let's see, what else have I been getting into? Nothing too crazy, really, guys. I've been adulting. I had a lot of excitement because this last weekend I got to go to the farmer's market and stuff like that, and buy some fresh bread and some fresh potatoes.
I hate the term adulting, but going to the farmer's market is probably the most adulting thing ever.
Dude, it was so good. I got some fresh strawberry jam. Oh man, that was tasty.
I mean, I wasn't judging you for going to the farmer's market. There's a lot of good stuff at the farmer's market.
Yeah, I love the farmer's market. You can make a morning of that and have a blast. And then I've been going to there's a woman in town that owns like 6 different produce stands that she runs, plus has a physical brick and mortar location for it. And the brick and mortar location is like 5 minutes from my house. So I've been hitting that up at least once or twice a week to go and get fresh veggies and stuff like that, which has been really nice. Shop local if you can, guys. It's really nice. That's why farmers markets and stuff like that are fun. Farmers markets isn't necessarily local because I know some of our vendors come from like an hour, 2 hours away to do the market. But okay, SP has a good point saying going antiquing is more adulting than farmers markets.
There's another term for that. But
what is the definition of the term adulting that we're using here? Hold on a second, because I thought we were somewhere different. You just talking about being old? Is that what you mean?
Being old and boring.
Yeah. Oh, go and getting yourself fitted for dentures. How's that? Jesus Christ. Go and get a coffin fitted for you. I don't fucking know, man. Like, Jesus.
Fair. What else have I been getting into?
Goalpost here.
I've kind of fallen into a rabbit hole on YouTube of watching a bunch of old Conan O'Brien content. It's just been tons of fun because if you didn't know, like his YouTube channel has like content going all the way back to like his old late night show on NBC starting in the 90s. So it's been kind of fun going down that and doing watching some of the old Conan remotes and stuff like that. And Conan O'Brien's just a funny guy. I'm a big fan of Conan.
Did you watch him on the Hot Ones?
Yes, Conan on Hot Ones was glorious.
He went nuts. Yeah, it's hilarious because now I guess First We Feast and a lot of the other channels are like pushing the Emmys for like an Emmy category for like online, interview type shows. And then someone like responded to that. It's like, are you really going to push for that when like the last one you just put out was Conan O'Brien like rubbing his nipples with hot sauce?
To be fair,
but it's a good interview show.
And to be fair, Conan O'Brien rubbed his nipples on like every episode of his show, basically.
Yeah, but not with hot sauce.
That is true.
It was so weird. It was such a great episode. I got to watch the new one. I haven't seen the Hemsworth one yet.
I haven't either. I need to. When I have a subscription to HBO Max again, I look forward to watching Conan's travel show, which I guess is out. Nice. I just haven't had a chance to watch it. And he did get a second season of it. And it was always fun for his show on TBS when he would go and do travel events and then the Conan Without Borders stuff and come back. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And I guess the next season's going to be 6 or 8 episodes instead of the 4 they got for this season. So it'll be interesting. Nice. I guess that's pretty much all I've been getting into. I will give you a sneak preview. This weekend's a wrestling pay-per-view weekend, so I know what I'm doing Sunday night.
There you go.
I know what I'm doing Sunday.
Not being called up.
Probably. Bachman, you're up next. What do you got for us?
So we spent a little time last weekend. We did a yard sale and made a couple $100, so that was kind of nice. Got rid of a bunch of stuff. We took a little break this week and went out and did some things. We actually went to the theater, but I think it was Monday or Tuesday. We took the afternoon and we went and saw Fall Guy on the big screen, which was fantastic. I mean, Ryan Gosling is as funny as people say he's attractive. Like, I mean, I don't find him personally attractive, but the dude's hilarious. The Fall Guy remake was great. It's such a fun movie. It's definitely worth seeing on the big screen if you can before it leaves the theaters. It was so much fun. Looking forward to it, and then reading Julian Lytle's review of it just made me want to go see it even more. Like, that's one like I will want to own that on like Blu-ray because that'll be a fun rewatch every couple of months because like it's just a fun movie. Also saw I was telling Chris in the pre-show I just finished watching Oppenheimer today. It's on Peacock, so if you got Peacock, you can watch it in 3-hour-long chunks instead of watching it all at once if you want to break it down. It was one of those things, like, even as it was like going for the Oscars, I'm like, how is this like a Oscar worthy movie? But it is. It's super entertaining. It's super interesting.
How long is it?
It's 3 hours. It's
I thought you said it. I thought you said in 3-hour chunks. I was like,
oh, that's what I heard.
3 hours. I was like, what?
3 1-hour chunks. Let me.
How are people watching both this and Barbie? What?
But yeah, it was super interesting movie. The way it's one of those things. It's like you think it's like, oh, it's like a black and white parts. Christopher Nolan's like, what, the guy that made the bomb, like, it's just all just sounds weird. But then you realize this, well, Christopher Nolan, is digging into this thing and doing a 3-hour movie. There's a reason for it. And like, the guy's just such a damn good filmmaker. I was like, I'm going to start it last night. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get too much into it, but I'm just going to like get it started. I was like 45 minutes into it. And I realized like, oh, like I really need to go to bed, but like, this is really good. And so like the fact that you're 45 minutes into a 3-hour movie and like, I wanted to keep going. And then, finished it today. It's just some superb acting, great directing. It's really entertaining. I mean, you if you've read some of the books on the Manhattan Project and stuff, you probably know most of it just through general, being part of society. You probably know a good idea about what happened with some of the stuff, but just some of the storytelling was just superb because it's Christopher Nolan. He makes great movies. But I really enjoyed it. I was surprised that I was that entertained by a 3-hour film. So that part was kind of shocking. And then I was telling Chris also in the pre-show, the reason I was getting all caught up on stuff was having Peacock for the month. I went back and started watching all of the they don't call them pay-per-views now. What do they call them? Peacock
Premium live events.
Premium live events. Yeah. I watched all the WWE pay-per-views for this year. And so, I got to see Cody finish his story. And then I wanted to go for it because I heard so much good stuff about Backlash. I actually started watching that one too. And I'm about halfway through that. And the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens like tag team match was just awesome. Seeing those two fighting together. But it's like there's some of the changes they've done in the storytelling. Like, I really think the Paul Levesque era of the WWE is going to be a massive step forward because we're seeing Triple H push guys that Vince wouldn't have pushed because you have to be a big pile of, steroids.
Well,
because
to get that guy hard, right?
Yeah. And Paul's not a sex pest, so that helps too.
Yeah. And so, like seeing like the start, like watching all the pay-per-views for this year and seeing like the start of like the Triple H, the Paul Levesque era, like I think it's honestly going to be really good for WWE and their storytelling and like the type of people that he's going to put over and put belts on versus what we see Vince do for the last 40 years. So it's got me a little more interested in WWE than I've been in a long time. And I gotta say, I really enjoy watching main event Jey Uso. Like, that's not something I ever thought I really wanted to see was the Usos split up, but having like one Uso that's basically not part of the bloodline and like, fuck all y'all, I'm gonna go do my own thing. It like Jey Uso is Miles Morales. Like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, he's awesome, and I love what they're doing with him. He's fun as hell to watch. Other than that, I haven't been playing too many games or anything. I got one game of Kill Team in last week with Colin. There was, some big Warhammer news. So I was excited to find out, they broke down all the miniatures. They're going to be in the Skaven Tide box set for Age of Sigmar, which is the Warhammer. Like, it's weird now because now there's Old World again. So there's 2 different Warhammer fantasy worlds. But there's like a current one and there's a throwback one. The current one would be Age of Sigmar, which has my Stormcast, the Golden Boys with the hammers, and they released the breakdown. Everything that's going to be in the box coming out this summer. So I'm super excited about that. My nephew's super excited because he plays Skaven. So I want some Hammer Boys. He wants some new rats. And then on the miniature hobby kick, I also got a nice box that came all the way to my house from Greece because there's nothing cooler than winning contests on Instagram. So there was a crippledgodfoundry.com Kickstarter that just finished. Sadly, I didn't get this before the Kickstarter, so I forgot to mention it last week, which I should have, but I won their contest and got 14 of their miniatures sent to me from their Kickstarter. So basically, I got their starter kit for free because my name was pulled on their Kickstarter or on their Instagram contest, and they got some crazy little wait, where's my new camera now? Crazy little wizard dudes. Like, this guy's pretty cool looking, covered in just all sorts of little details. He's got a little pipe and a little staff and his bedroll and all that. And then I think this is the biggest figure that was in the kit. See if I can get the camera to focus on it a little bit better. It's a giant warrior that's actually a lion. I got to get a new camera. This camera sucks. But yeah, I got the 14 pack of their fantasy miniatures, showed up in the mail and came all the way from Greece, and they are just freaking awesome looking. And then I think they're resin, which I don't have any other resin miniatures, so I got to make sure. I got to talk to my nephew because I think when you sand the resin stuff, you're supposed to wear a mask because it produces like fumes and stuff. It's not the same as just working with plastic. So I haven't done anything with them yet. I just looking at them because, man, they're cool looking. Like there's little pirate looking guys. There's crazy soldiers. It's just a bunch of really weird fantasy characters. But yeah, awesome looking set. And yeah, the crippledgodfoundry.com, probably better for people in Europe, if you're getting stuff because they do like monthly, see what is their little releases. They have monthly digital releases, 3D printing, and resin cast. So like they do the whole shebang if you're interested in minis. But yeah, definitely go check out I'm guessing their Kickstarter will probably have a follow-up link. So if you didn't back the Kickstarter, almost all of them nowadays have the option of you can back it afterwards. And they've got some really cool looking minis. So yeah, I got more fun stuff to paint, so I'm excited. Got to get some other stuff done first, but then when I can get back to it, I got a whole stack of minis to work on. And I cleaned up my desk again because it became a damn mess after the yard sale. I was going through boxes. I was going through old, big, Tupperware containers of stuff and just finding things I had no idea I still had. And, throwing a bunch of stuff away. So the wife was super happy. Sold some other stuff. So the wife was super happy. But then I kept bringing stuff in here and putting it on my desk. I was like, no, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that. And I'm keeping that. And these and those and this. And so I ended up having to go through like one of my shelves with all of my art supplies and tossed out some art supplies and then refilled the drawers up with stuff that I'm keeping, like a bunch of miniatures. Because I think at one point when I was working at Captain Comics, we had miniatures that were going out of sale for a game that no one was buying. And so Corbett put them all up for like a quarter a piece, and so I bought them all. So I have like 120 miniatures for a game I've never played, but some of them are just really cool looking. So they may get converted into some Warhammer miniatures, because why the hell not? Yeah, that's what I've been getting into. What about you, Willie man?
Well. Let's see. Not really a whole lot. Just watched Step Brothers. Again, I've only watched like one time before and I didn't really get it. This last time was finally funny as hell. Yeah, the Catalina wine mixer. What a hell of a time that is.
The Catalina effing wine mixer.
Yeah.
Got you just the right kind of dumb.
Exactly. Other than that, I've been finally finished the Marvel's Midnight Suns and the DLC. Finished all of that up. Let's see. Started playing Rogue Legacy 2, which is a roguelite game, not a roguelike. There's a slight difference, kind of like Vampire.
That's a
So what's
callback right there.
What's a roguelite?
All right, so a roguelike is a game that's played like Rogue back on the what did it come out on? Shoot, one like the Commodore or something like that. One of those old systems. Yeah. And it was pretty much a game that every time you started it, it's a whole new layout and everything. So you had to. So it was like a fresh game every time you played it. That's what I think like
Hades.
Yes, like Hades. There's a lot. There's so many, but my brain is not.
Diablo.
Don't go. Diablo, yeah. I don't think I was ever called that though. That'd be yeah. Why not? It's a little interesting. But a roguelite introduces more meta game progress. And what Rogue Legacy does is every time you die, the next character has some differences because your previous character's heir, the next in line to take on whatever to try and beat the boss.
Okay.
So that's what, and every time you come back in Rogue Legacy 2, or I think and also in the first Rogue Legacy, they all have like different characteristics. Like some of them have dwarfism, so the little tiny characters carry around a sword and whacking shit. Or some of them where they can't see color, so everything's in black and white.
Oh wow!
There's some things where it makes all the enemies pixelated, like it's a Cops episode and you can't see their face. Some things give you extra gold for progress. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and I've been going through, already defeated 2 of the bosses, and working on the third one. It plays a lot like a Metroidvania, but as a roguelite. So every time you go into the castle, the layout's always different, but you always start in the same biome, if that makes sense. You move into different sections, and then you can also make fast travels to the other ones as you get to them. You just have to spend some of that gold you've been getting in there.
Well, of course. It's all about spending the gold.
Yeah, Rogue Legacy has been pretty fun. Downloaded a Family Feud game, and that's also pretty fun. Not gonna lie.
Nice.
I would like to have all 10 people playing individually, but I know it's on sale on the PlayStation right now for just under $10. So yeah, come play with Willie
That's
Nelson.
not bad.
Yeah. Who doesn't like Family Feud?
Broken families, probably.
Well,
But this one doesn't have Steve Harvey, so that's a positive.
oh,
That's a thumbs up in the Blizzard world, right?
Maybe.
Listen, the best Family Feud host there ever was Louis Anderson. What are we even talking about here? Now, if you want to say the guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but played Al Borland, that guy too. Why can't I not
Richard
remember his name?
Karn. That's right.
That's
he did
it, yep.
host it.
He was also good as too.
Yeah.
I would put him up there with Louis Anderson.
He's like the king of infomercials right now.
He's the new Ronco. He's the new Vince.
yeah.
I was going to
He's
say
out there-
Billy Mays.
That's
out
my
there
next
selling
one.
flannel shirts.
I mean, if anyone can sell flannel shirts, it'd be that motherfucker right there, right?
Nothing wrong with a good flannel shirt, man.
Flannel shirts pretty nice.
That's what gets me through the winter. I wear flannel shirts all the time then.
Keep you nice and bundled.
You keep me nice and toasty in my chilly basement.
But that's what I've been getting into. So
Everybody likes a
let's,
red and black flannel.
So let's see the end for SP there.
Yeah, SP, we're going to start shutting things down here. So make sure you let us know you're still alive as I do my deal here. So friendly reminder, we do stream this show live every week. Right now we're doing Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So please go check us out there. The easiest way to find it is go to gonnageek.com/live. You'll find us and all of the other live shows in the network that stream from there. Alternatively, we do stream each week on Twitch, YouTube, and we've been using Facebook on our podcast page on Facebook. I'm open to a different third source. I just haven't found a good one for us to use right now. So I get plans. So we've been dumping it to Facebook so that they can train the Facebook AI off the stupid shit that we say on this show, I assume. SP has said it is cooldown time right now. So we were thankfully able to accompany SP through his rigorous workout today.
I made it. I guess we didn't kill him this week. We'll have to try again next week.
So a big thank you to everyone who did join us live in the chat room. I saw Ernesto in there. I saw SP in there. There might have been some other folks in there. I may have missed some comments. If so, I do apologize. But before we shut down the stream, do you guys have any thoughts for the people?
Why can't a gun kill a vampire? I don't get it.
I mean, if it shot a wooden stake, I mean, Blade uses a gun because it was filled with something, or did
UV
Blade
bullets.
UV bullets. Now, in theory, if you shot bullets that were soaked in holy water, that could be damaging.
Well, if you put, silver in it and then, a little wood inside of the
What is with the wood
bullet?
that hurts his heart? What is with that? Why does it have to be wood?
I think it's because they're unnatural.
That's just what the legend is. I mean,
Yeah.
because they played around with that concept in the Buffy stuff at one point in time where like Spike got staked with a plastic stake and it didn't kill him because it wasn't wood, but they did it to torture him. Basically, it would look like wood, but it wasn't wood.
All I know is you make your bullets out of silver. If you shoot someone in the heart and they die, they were a werewolf. That's the rule.
This is witch logic right there too.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. That's my final word.
All right.
Stab them in the heart with a wooden stake, and they died. They were a vampire. Duh.
I approve. I approve. On that note, though, we are out of here, and we look forward to seeing you fine folks next week. See you then. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.